Hi, y'all know me as Lake Geoduck on the forums. This is my actual review and some tips to give you on the Funstore fogger. So to help you either contemplate if this is something that you want or something that you just want to forget. Anyway, so far I like it. Let's see. Works pretty well. Now I want to cut off and you want to get just the no face of me and just the device. So let's get to it. Be right back. How do I turn this off? Okay, this is the parts of the fogger. You got your mouthpiece, your tank cover, atomizer extension, atomizer, which you provide. It's your own atomizer, it doesn't come with it. The e-liquid tank, it's supposed to hold about 3.3 milliliters. The atomizer connection and the air tank cover. And then you provide the Ego battery. Okay, let's put this together. The first thing what you would want to do is take your atomizer connector and you want to test out to make sure you got good connection on your atomizer. It uses a 901 atomizer and you screw it on, and before you fill the tank up with fluid, you want to put it together. See, at the end it doesn't screw on to the Ego like the 510 connection of the Ego. The outer part, which is the air hole, the air tank, goes on and it screws on the outer part where the cone normally would. You put it together and you fire it up to see if you hear the atomizer. Then you could start filling it up. I want to take it apart because I want to show you if by any chance you don't hear it. It means the connector is not connecting that center pin very well. So what you're going to have to do, here, let me wipe this up because I've already put tank in there, is take it apart, and this works for if this doesn't work on other mods or addies. This is a little trick. See, that's a little center pin. You stick something like a tweezers and you pry that up a little bit, going all the way around, prying it just gently, bringing that center pin up just a little bit so it could make contact with that center part right there. You don't want to pull too much, but you can pull it up a little bit. You put it together and you try it again. Now another thing you could do to test it without having to put it back together, if you have connection, is to get a multimeter and put your negative end here, or put one end of the lead of your multimeter here and the other lead right here. You should get just a little bit more of a resistance reading than your atomizer would normally be. So if it's like a 3.0 ohm atomizer, you might get like 3.2 or 3 or something, a little bit. And then you know if you have high ohms, you know, around those ohms, that you got contact. And if not, you could do the pin. Okay. Next, after you have that together, you'd screw the tube on. Well, actually, let me take that back. Before you do that, you take the atomizer extension and stick it in there. And you'll have this. Now you get the tank, screw it on there nice and snug, and it should end up looking like this. Okay, now you have this part assembled up to this point. Okay, set it down and let me put the mouthpiece and the end cap in together first, because you're going to need to put that on there pretty quick. Not really quick, but put that on there. Okay, now you're ready to fill. Now normally it's supposed to come with a little end rubber cap to cap this, but I didn't have it for some reason. But anyway, I used a condom from a cartomizer and just pop that on there to block it up, and you start filling. And once you fill it up, you fill it up to the threading, but not past it. You'll see a little threading in there. You fill it up to the threading, but not past it, with liquid. And after you fill it, you put the mouthpiece on. Put that on tight. Now that you have it full, you get yourself a bottle and you take the cap off. And what's going to happen is, because there's a little hole on the side of that 901 atomizer, and as you're filling, it's going to fill it up a little bit. So you take it out and you stick the unit in the bottle, and it should drip. Let's see, outside that little hole a few drops, maybe 0.1 milliliter, I don't know, just a few drops. And after it's done dripping, you screw on the air tube. Now on the air tube, you see that there's two little holes. That's for airway, the airway passage. Now these holes are offset, and it's closer to one end of the tube. The end that it's closer, you actually screw on to the main part of the tank. After you screw it on the tank, you screw it onto your atomizer. Now see, as you noticed, let me take this off. I can't remember if I said this before, but I might edit it out. This part actually makes contact with it, and it doesn't screw into the 510 connection like normal addies do, or like you would expect. Actually, this part screws onto the outer part of the ego where the cone would normally go. And there you have it. You have it assembled and you're ready for vaping. Now, a few things to keep in mind, which isn't as much of a problem when you have low resistant 901s in there, because you're vaping really quick. But if you end up vaping or having juice come in and then you don't vape at all, the remaining juice in the atomizer part, not the tank, might drop out of here a little bit, and it will drip into here, which is not too much of a problem, but it could be a pain if you're not paying attention. You suck too much in and it will fill that part up, and then in turn leak out if you set it aside, leak out this end, or leak out and fill up the side, which it doesn't too have to, but you do have to be attentive of that, and you have to base off the fill of your vaping. And also, if you have it dry, and now you don't want to do the suck too hard, and doesn't seem like it's feeding into your atomizer, you could block it right here and suck a little bit without activating, and then let go. Just do it real quick. Then you get little gurgles, and then you activate it and you vape. Now, and also I wish there was a way to close this, because you had this problem with the GG AVS system, that the control ring, you needed to close this up. It could leak out a little bit while it's sitting if you set it on the side and not upright, and it would be nice if you close this up so it puts up a complete seal while you're doing it. So I was thinking about getting an O-ring or something. But if you don't want to worry about any leaks, mind you, if you maintain it, you won't get too much leak. But if you don't want to worry about any leaks at all, what you do, I want to disassemble this. I want to cut off, and then we're going to do a reassemble with a cartomizer, okay? Okay, I'm back. Like I said, this is normally set up for the 901 Addy, because the connection goes onto this. What you could do as an alternative is, instead of using the 901 atomizer, and they use this for the AVS or the AVS-FS for the GG, if you're familiar with the GG, is get a standard KR8 cartomizer, the one with the horizontal coil, and has the similar connection, and you make yourself a hole exactly like you would do with the that the 901 has. The little hole that the 901 has. Let me find that. And the best way to do it is file it down a little bit with a file and then use a tiny drill bit and drill out the hole. This will provide a path for the fluid to go in. So let's put this sucker together. Now, the difference you would do with this one rather than the atomizer is to help with the process. You don't fill it up necessarily, but you first put liquid in the cartomizer. Get it enough moist. I mean, put a few drops, but keep in mind you still have that little hole on the side, so you don't fill too much. But this will assist on the initial fill of this, so you don't speed up the filling of the tank process. So let me put a little bit more in there. This will get it started. Put your extension in there. Put this together. You don't have to put this cap this anymore, because I don't know if you're familiar with the cartomizer. It has a little, if this was the cartomizer, it has a little pin inside that goes up higher so it doesn't drip directly out the battery connection. So you could actually just do it like this and you fill it out the same way all the way up to the threading. And this, it'll actually make it hold more juice. It's supposed to hold around 3 milliliters, but with the tank, with the cartomizer being able to hold a milliliter itself, so you, in a sense, have 4 milliliters just about of juice. Alright, so you got that on there. You stick the end cap, the mouthpiece in, cap it up. And see, there's no dripping out of here, not the little drops like you normally would have with the atomizer, which is it's okay with the atomizer. The little drops, that's expected and be done, but you don't have to cap it, and it's nice and clean. Still put the airway on the top part, assemble it, and assemble it on your unit, and you're ready to vape. Okay, I want to cut this off now. I'll just show you a little bit of the vape and end this video off. So, alright, be right back. Alright, so the resistant, I got too high of a resistant cartomizer in there. I grabbed the wrong one. But anyway, there you have it. The fogger with a cartomizer, modified cartomizer. And you have almost 4 milliliters of juice in there. You don't have to worry about leaks. You leave it sitting there, and you're good to go. So, if you're contemplating buying it, I'd say it's not a total waste. If you have other things that you're satisfied with, it's not a must get, because there's a lot of things coming out, but I'm definitely liking this, and it fits on the Ego, and this is definitely my carry around. Okay, let me come right back. I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to show you one more little thing if you want. It's nothing big. Alright, if you happen to have an Ego lanyard, this is what it looks like inside the lanyard. And you'd have it hanging, and it's ready to vape. And it's brought to my attention, I think the funstore.gr, where I got this, actually has a 510 adapter for putting a 510 in here, but I don't know anything about that. So there you go. If you're interested, look it up at funstore.gr. I'll put a link somewhere, and thank you for your time. Peace.